2002's number 3 world-ranked hurdler Larry Wade was doing some work in his garage when he tripped and landed awkwardly on his left arm, breaking a bone at the elbow joint. It's a world championship year. So what now, Larry?
Well, it has a great effect if it was the opposite arm, but because I'm a left leg hurdler, this is my pocket arm, so it barely moves. And it's a good thing, because if it was the other arm, I don't think I'd be able to do it. It'd be too much pressure on it. And with the ligaments being torn on the inside, it would be almost impossible to turn the arm in this direction to go over the hurdles. But because it's the left arm, thank you God, that it actually works for me.
Well, Larry Wade has been wearing this brace on his arm during the day, but you'll see now that he's on the track getting ready to run, he has tape replacing that. He had surgery 4 weeks ago to cut a piece of bone off of his elbow due to that fall at home. He has to wear a brace and the tape because the ligaments in that elbow are also torn. Basically, the bone has nothing to hold on to. He's in a lot of pain when he gets into the set position, shooting pain. And if it isn't more of a problem, we'll have to see what happens with Ron Bramlett in 3 if they happen to bang arms, because if that happens, Wayne will be in a lot of trouble. Carol?
And Mark Creer out in lane number 7, the silver medalist in Atlanta and bronze medalist in Sydney. He said he needed to take some time off and return to top form because he had really lost the fire. In his time off, he had a son, Mark Jr., and he also finished his doctorate in Christian theology. So the Reverend has done a couple of marriages and also baptized his wife last year. Dan?
Well, we see Micah Harris in lane 1. This is a crowd favorite. He went to the University of Oregon. He had a big breakthrough a couple weeks ago at Modesto, running from a 13.62 personal best down to a 13.43. He's now training in San Diego with Brooks Johnson.
And here are the lane assignments, how they'll line up. Always a great field of hurdlers here. Watch for Dwayne Ross in lane 5 to challenge Larry Wade. And speaking of Larry Wade, it's very gingerly the way he has to get back into the blocks. He just asks, guys, please, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to false start. You don't have to get away from me. And he told me earlier today he's got to have more surgery after the World Championships on that elbow.
The start of the high hurdles is so important, so just to avoid traffic. And Larry does this well, and he needs to do it well today.
And a false start. We'll have to see who committed it, but now there will be a false start on everyone in the field, and the next person who was to false start would be thrown out of the competition. See if we can pick it up.
It looked like it was lane 2, Dudley Dorival. There really was no other movement except for Dudley in lane 2.
So Larry Wade backing back gingerly into his blocks in lane 4. Ron Bramlett on the right side of the screen, NCAA champion last year. You have to watch him. And they're away cleanly this time. Wade actually got out all right that time. It's Wade in the middle of the track with Dwayne Ross on his right. It's Wade in 4 and Ross in 5. And out in lane 7, it's Mark Creer making a move, but it's Larry Wade with that arm taped up that's going to take the victory. Unofficially 13.24, which is just 100th of a second off what he ran at Modesto. So as painful as I am sure it is for him to run, he is running very effectively this year.
He really is. That arm didn't look to be a factor 2 weeks ago in Modesto. He doesn't have to move it very far. It just kind of pumps back and forth in a normal running motion.
Let's take a look at his start, which is the hardest part of his race now, Dan.
Well, this really is an important part of a hurdle race, and I don't know anybody who did it better than Alan Johnson, who got ahead of his competitors and got out of traffic. Sometimes when you get back with the rest of the field, guys are swinging their arms, they're hitting you. Another important thing to look at is who hits the hurdles, and do the hurdles slow you down? A lot of these guys know how to drive through the hurdles, and Larry's tall. He's really big and tall. He doesn't hit many hurdles, and he stands straight up and down, but that arm didn't give him any trouble, and that was an easy win for him.
So Larry Wade comes out victorious, running just about the same time as a couple of weeks ago, and he's downstairs with Lewis Johnson.
Well, Dwight, from the brace to the tape to the starting line, just how much pain were you in there?
I couldn't believe they false started the first time. I was like, Jesus, here we go again. So I was in a lot of pain, but, you know, I tried to focus and forget about it. And I think it altered me a little bit at the beginning, but he came out okay.
Larry, if you didn't have a medical challenge, do you think you'd be as good as you are?
I don't think so. I think I need the extra challenge to become better. So I don't know. I mean, I would think I would be, but, you know, I'm giving.
And what does this time and this performance tell you in the condition you're in against the field you were against?
It means I got more work to do. I mean, 13:24 is fast, but it doesn't satisfy me by any means, so I got a lot of work to do.
All right, congratulations. Dwight.
All right, Lewis. Larry Wade wins it. The wins are favorable here. None of them over the allowable. 13.24, just a hundredth of a second off his world-leading time. Dudley Dorval gets up for second, and Ron Branlett third. Mark Creer was seventh. Regina J.